John Hartson said that Rangers were title favourites. Chris Sutton said that Rangers were phenomenal. And now Neil Mccann is giving us the one reason why Rangers are both phenomenal and title favourites. And that, of course, is the big difference between Rangers and Celtic. And, of course, it is the man up front, the great striker, the greatest player to ever play in Scotland, Cyril Dessers. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And, yeah, all joking aside, Cyril Dessers is still shit, but he's been scoring goals lately, so I thought I'd give him a little bit of praise. Neil Mccann reckons there's a big difference between Rangers and Celtic. There's one key factor in why Rangers can go on and win the league, and I'm sorry to disappoint him, but it's not the Nigerian nightmare. It's not Cyril Dessers. He's not the difference maker. In fact, he could be the difference maker, but he's more likely to make the difference for Celtic. He's more likely to be the reason why Celtic go on and win the league. But no, Neil Mccann reckons there's one big difference between Rangers and Celtic right now. He doesn't think it's the manager. He doesn't think it's the players. He doesn't even think it's the tactics that have played a huge role in Rangers chasing down Celtic and closing the gap at the top of the Scottish Premiership. But Neil Mccann, with Celtic and Rangers both locked on 61 points, he thinks the big difference is the fans. He thinks Rangers will go on and be successful this season because they have the fans, they have the support that essentially Celtic do not. And he cited how a united, supported base can be a powerhouse and how a disjointed one can be a weakness. Mccann was speaking on BBC Sports Scene after Rangers' 3-1 against Ross County, and he said the following, quote, "The one thing I would like to point out is that a fan base can be a real powerhouse, but they can also be a real weakness. I think the fans are showing a real true form of support because so often, even when I was playing, they get on edge. They know they need goals, they want to go top of the league so badly after being so far behind, but there's an enormous amount of patience being shown by that support right now that is helping the team stay relaxed, cool and calm. It's maybe not the same across the city." End of quote. So Neil Mccann suggesting here that Rangers have the edge because of the fans. Is he right to make that claim? I think he is. Now, I'll give a couple of reasons for that. First of all, I do think the Rangers fans have been behind the club and behind the team more this season. You look at Celtic and it's been a disruptive season for them, especially with the Green Brigade. You had all that stuff with Palestine, then they were causing incidents in stadium, putting safety at risk. I believe at Motherwell there was a big issue there. They then got banned from the stadium, and this sort of had an effect on the rest of the fans, and there was even a walkout in one game. I believe it might have been a Champions League game, or was it against Kilmarnock? Either way, I'm pretty sure there was a walkout organised to try and protest the fact that the Green Brigade were banned. So you've had the fact that the Green Brigade have been causing trouble this season. The attendances haven't been that great either, and then also you've got to factor in the fact that Celtic fans are pretty much obsessed with winning. They've got to this state now where they believe that winning trebles every single season is the norm. And if they don't win a treble, if they aren't, winning every domestic title available to them, they're complaining, they're bitching, they're moaning. And I think that is partly down to the amount of success that they did have. And, that was a great period for them. There's no doubt about it. The quadruple treble, that will never be done again in Scottish football, in my opinion. Even if Celtic or Rangers, if one of them disappeared, the chances of the team winning 12 in a row, 12 domestic competitions, it's just unlikely to happen again. So I don't think Celtic will ever see that success again, and I think they need to just accept that you cannot have treble seasons every single year. I think up until Celtic won the first of their quadruple trebles, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they only had 4 trebles in their entire history. And then they went on to match 4 within the next 4 years. So they seem to have high expectations. And I get it, Celtic Football Club, everyone has high expectations, but I think they've got this false sense of reality where they just expect to win absolutely everything. You look at the 9-in-a-row season, Okay, they didn't win 10 in a row. There was an absolute meltdown that season. I understand, disappointed not to win 10 in a row, but I mean, they were treating it as if the club had betrayed them, as if the club and the Desmond and Mark Loyal and everyone has they have no interest in Celtic. They don't have the best interest of the club. This is the same duo that were there for when Celtic won the 9 in a row. Jesus Christ, the meltdown that season was unreal, and I also think there will be a massive meltdown this season if they concede the league after being 8 points in front. So I actually agree with Neil McCann. I do think the Rangers support, they've just been getting better at accepting failure. And maybe that's not a good thing, but I think Rangers, over the past couple of seasons, when they've won a trophy, it's meant a lot to them. When they won the league, it meant everything. When they won the Scottish Cup, it was a big deal. When they beat Aberdeen earlier this season, it was a big moment. When Celtic win League Cups and Scottish Cups, it's almost like the fans kind of frown upon it. They don't treat it like it's a big deal. They're only happy when they're winning trebles every season. And therefore, yeah, I think that if Celtic do lose, if they do drop behind Rangers in this title fight, I think the fans will explode. Put it this way, I believe that if Rangers don't win the league this season, the Rangers fans are still going to want Philippe Clement there next season. They're still going to be positive that he's the man. They're going to be looking forward to the future with Philippe Clement. If Celtic don't win the league this season, are you telling me the majority of Celtic fans are going to be happy with Brendan Rodgers? Are you telling me they're going to get behind Brendan Rodgers and they'll want to push on into the next season with Brendan Rodgers in charge? Absolutely not. Look at the reaction we've seen. People calling for Rodgers to go. People wanting rid of Rodgers because they've given up their lead. I mean, they're not even behind yet. They've not lost the league title. Yet a shitload of fans want him out. So I think we're going to see a massive swing, and I think we're going to see, just how toxic these Celtic fans can be if indeed they do slip behind Rangers, which I think they will. But we'll see, guys. I mean, you can't win every single trophy, and I certainly don't think Celtic will win the league this season. I don't think they're good enough. Don't think they're playing well enough. But we'll see. Rangers so far haven't got in front, and getting in front is probably the hard part. They haven't done it yet. They're just like a goal behind. Can they get in front? I guess we'll find out as the season continues. I do agree with Neil McCann that the Rangers fans are supporting Rangers and they are a better influence right now for the club, but at the same time, fans don't win you games. I mean, they can help, but fans getting behind Rangers they're not gonna magically make goals go in. They aren't going to secure 3 points on their own. Can it have an effect? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, the fans ain't going to win the league. The league's going to be won on the pitch. The league's going to be won because of managers, because of players. So I don't really agree with Neil McCann that way. And I think if Brendan Rodgers can start putting in good performances, I think if he can start building a lead again over Rangers, if Celtic beat Rangers at Ibrox in the next Old Firm game, trust me, the fans will quickly get back on board and they will start supporting Rodgers and they will get behind the team. It's all about momentum. Right now, Rangers have it, but that it could easily disappear because Rangers haven't got in front yet. If Rangers drop points and Celtic win, if Rangers drop 2 points behind, then they maybe draw another game. If they drop 4 points behind, then we'll quickly see the Celtic fans, getting behind Brendan Rodgers, and we'll see the Rangers fans. I'm not saying they'll lose patience with Philippe Clement, but we'll see the momentum definitely begin to shift. So, yeah, I mean, fans are a big role. Fans are important, but I don't think fans will decide ultimately where the title goes. I think that is going to be on the pitch, and I still believe that Celtic have the better team. I still think they have the better players, despite not playing well at the moment. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an interesting end to the season. I think it could be a last day title decider. I really do. But what I would say is I think there's other teams that can also decide. At Hearts playing really well at the moment. You've got Kilmarnock, very good at home. I can definitely see them taking points off one, if not both, of the Old Firm. And you've got St Mirren as well, pretty decent. Aberdeen on their day can give somebody a game. And Hibernian, pretty much the same as Aberdeen on their day. They're capable of beating anyone. So we'll see, guys. Exciting season. And we've still got a decent amount of it to come. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.